There you go. That's right.
Devils, yeah.
You let them go, and what did they do? They turned on you. But you didn't have time to just grab up all these foolish Negroes, put them in a pen, and try and deprogram, delayer, because that's what we gotta do. We can't just go on chopping each other up in pieces, and then go, okay, so we'll let them other folks go, and we'll kill each other. No, we gotta stop that now. We gotta stop that. We gotta have compassion for ourselves. That is the one thing. We got compassion for every other group of people. Ooh, what they happened to the people in the Gaza Strip? What happened to the people? What happened to you?
I mean, y'all change your Facebook profile picture with flag.
Yeah, when that thing happened.
This week, finish.
I was mad.
Exactly. So you gotta switch that around and bring it back home and have compassion for each other and our miseducation. That's all.
Anybody else?
I think it was. I feel like it was really. I got to see this film, so it was really informative, like of how like much power that we have as a Black community, and when we come together, and the obvious result that we can actually, create an army or create, we can actually when we come together, like, we're powerful. And so it's just a matter of us now, like, realizing our power within ourselves and coming together.
It made me feel some kind of way because, man, this is what we're talking about. You see the citadel they built? Like, we got cranes and we got all these skills, all these construction. Like, they just did this straight out of being slaves. And they just did that with no outside help, no resources, nothing. It's like, we need to,
Well, you know they did that long before that, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
They did that long before that.
But that was a different situation though, because we were free in our own space. You know what I mean? We were coming straight out of a traumatic experience. I'm saying, but another thing that hit me kind of was because it parallels with the now, is that they demonize our spirituality and our culture, right? So because even though we had different spiritual systems, we bind them together, came under one accord, and we got rid of them. All of a sudden now everything that's African spirituality, everything that's African culture, everything that has to do with us is now demonized. So we won't want to gravitate and to be ourselves and have that knowledge of self, because they know with that, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? When we tap into who we really are, the magic, the gods, the goddesses, who we really are, then they know that they can't deal with it. So they have to keep us away from that. They have to make us ashamed of who we are. They have to make who and what we are some type of devilishment, you know what I'm saying? So that we won't even embrace who we really are. Because as you can see, when we embrace who we are, look at the numbers. No, the weapons, we were outnumbered with weapons, we're outnumbered with people. Somehow we found a way to use whatever tactics, whatever genius, the God, nature, the universe, the low wild, and all that.
It was important when you said nature, because they learned to take care of their environment and use their environment as a weapon. And I think it's important that they did that undercover. They went from village to village and taught so that all the people understood how to do that.
That's right. Another good point.
How to take care of people who were enslaving you, how to medicate them out of that. While we're sitting in the hospital, looking at what they do to people, and all I can think of is, don't touch me. Let me go walk in my community, let me grow my own vegetables, let me be safe and healthy in my space, and let my people be healthy. Because they can use what we've known all along to kill us. You know, there's all this research today that says that we all have the same health, and no matter how much money we have, no matter how great our insurance is, the same doctor that's treating that white person is going to treat us, and they're not going to give us the same medicine. And you know, if you've been in the hospital, you see the different care that you get between a black person and a white person. We have to do our own health and do like those people did in the mountains and learn to take care of nature.
What about the element of, I'm going to say two more elements you guys can build on it. A woman, women, but they're not involved heavily. That's something that I think the brothers here, including myself, we have to understand the lesson. And I hope y'all understand our lesson too. You know what I mean? That's that balance. It wouldn't have happened. That's number one. Number two, what about the element of communion that you alluded to? You know what I'm saying? They went from those to those. They were speaking, they were talking, they were understanding what's going on here, what's going on there. How can we bring this together? Here's the objective. There's different methodologies how to get there. Maybe over here you guys are proficient at this. Maybe I'm proficient at this or that. But we had one goal, one objective. And it started with that communication, that coming together in real space. Because right now we're in this internet. We text all day, we can email, all those things that we can use as tools, because remember, we weaponize everything. So we have to weaponize our technology as well, but we also have to be in space. There's nothing like sharing the space and changing that energy with our people. We have a brother Knowledge Born Allah. He's also a radio host of New Knowledge Radio as well on Block Top. Go ahead.
First, before I want to thank everybody who came and everybody who was very attentive. They said we can't watch anything other than TV and all this other stuff. I ain't get none of the children, grumbling about having to watch the film. So this is another example of community to dispel all these rumors. A thing that the elder queen spoke on was very key. She said compassion. Compassion got us started, but compassion also stopped us. So the same motivation is what we're looking at right now. It was for our future. They got together. They didn't have to speak the same language. The goal was higher than the language. The goal became the language. The goal became the language. They was like, oh, we give everybody 7 stones, and when you got no more stones, it's time for war. What did the guy say? I don't want no more stones. It's time for war. You understand? So people could not wait, because that same compassion, that same love that we're trying to reconnect and try to rediscover here in the Americas amongst our people is the first thing that, and it's the first thing that has to come back. Because we come in an environment where love is personified from a European view. And a European view of love is ownership. They love what they own, what they possess. You understand? And they don't own anything and they don't possess anything. That's why you can't own anything in this place and you cannot possess anything. So they have taken us away from our children, and our children are away from us systematically. You can't even spank your child in public, a child that you had, a child that was in gestation in your womb. They have everything's mandatory reporting. So understand the systematic situation that you exist in, and then they empower you on the side. Well, if you tell us, go do such and such. Well, if you tell us about what your father doing, what your mother doing, blah, blah, blah. You see what I'm saying? So they're either we weaponize our future, or our future will continue to be weaponized against us. You see what I'm saying? So, we're here. This is an example. We speak different languages, we have different political ideologies, different spiritual inclinations, but this is greater than us all. What Maina Bello said at the end was key. She said, to our ancestors, this was their victory. Now we have to redefine our victory based on the example that was set forth. You see what I'm saying? So nothing can divide us. I was watching a biopic of the Deacons for Defense of Justice. And